Representative Rattawagen, I recognize you for 3 minutes, and Talofa.
Talofa. Thank you, Chairman Takano, Chairman Tester, and Ranking Members Moran and Bost for holding this series of hearings. I want to welcome the Commander-in-Chief. Each Congress, I look forward to hearing from our VSOs, and I appreciate the technical difficulties of setting this up as we recover from this pandemic. Thank you also to the VSOs for their testimony. Thank you all for your service to our great nation. I also want to thank VFW Hawaii, who has made it their mission to serve veterans, not just in Hawaii, but across the Pacific. Special whakataitele to American Samoa's very own Ingafo Maria Brown, Va'a, who always looks out for her fellow Samoan veterans, and George Barlett, who continues to give my staff regular VFW briefings. We're long overdue for an in-person meeting, and I look forward to hosting you and your fellow VFWs in my office later this year when it's safe to do so. I know that I can speak for everyone here this afternoon when I say that this entire committee on both sides of the aisle are fully dedicated to ensuring that the federal government lives up to our end of the bargain when it comes to providing the best resources and services to our veterans. The events of the past year and the COVID-19 pandemic have been unprecedented. However, I'm proud to say that Congress's response also has been unprecedented, with an overwhelming bipartisan response and record funding for VA programs. We're not quite out of the woods yet, and there are long-term effects to consider, but I'm confident that we'll continue to do everything we can to make sure our veterans are taken care of and that the negative impacts of COVID do not overshadow or interrupt the other care and benefits our veterans have rightfully earned. I also want to take a moment to reiterate my commitment to some of the specific priorities outlined by VFW and the other VSOs. Congress has an obligation to veterans who've been exposed to Agent Orange, burn pits, and other toxic exposures. I'll continue to support legislation that provides care for these veterans and protects the interest of future veterans who may be exposed to similar hazards while serving our country. I'm also committed to ensuring our female veterans are represented and cared for. In fact, I'll be participating in a subcommittee hearing later this afternoon on the gender-specific healthcare needs of female veterans. Finally, as a member who represents a U.S. territory, I'm particularly interested in your priorities for those veterans who live in either rural or remote locations, such as my home district of American Samoa. I want to thank the VFW and other VSOs for their efforts, and I do look forward to working with you on these and the many other issues facing today's veterans. Thank you again for being here today. Thank you for your service to our grateful nation. Mr. Chairman, I yield.
Thank you, Ms. Rattawagen.